Askreddit asks people of Reddit, what are some of the guy code and girl code unwritten rules that you always follow?
Should a bro die in a weightlifting related accident? A bro will add at least 100 pounds to the bar before reporting the incident. Edit. Thank you for my first gold. I don't know what it does, but it looks pretty.
Weird, he was attempting to curl 120s but he only weighs 140.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've done this for bros. Happens more times than you think.
Be generous with your closest friends. Buy them an occasional beer or the favorite soft drink without keeping score of whose turn it is to pay.
Removed. If another lady walks past and you notice a blood stain on the back of their pants skirt, tell them. But do it discreetly. Recently noticed a passenger had a spot on her pants. Wrote her a note and slipped it to her as I was collecting trash from the carriage. Half hour later, I see her again and she has a different change of pants on. She was super thankful.
If somebody loans me money, it's my job to remember to pay back. Not theirs to collect.
I lost a few friends this way.
Upwards not equals we're friends and I'm acknowledging you. Downwards not equals I don't know you but I acknowledging you.
So true to the point where if you reverse it on accident you won't get acknowledged. I was extremely tired and broke the code by upward nodding to a stranger and they looked at me confused and just walked away without giving me a nod. Took me until I got home to realize my mistake.
Wow, I've always done this subconsciously without knowing it. Written into every man's DNA.
If he drives, you pay for parking. I was almost always the DD for my friends, I just don't like being drunk, and my bros almost always covered me for movie tickets, food, etc. There was no prior agreement. Simply doing the bro thing.
And if it's a really long drive and it's the car, I'll pay for the first refill of gas.
If you see a girl with her skirt tucked into her tights, tissue stuck to her shoe or lipstick on her teeth, tell her.
This happened once in college when I was working retail. I was leaving the store's restroom and one of my coworkers, who was always a nasty bitch to me for whatever reason, had tucked her skirt into her underwear. I debated whether or not to say anything and then went with my gut and alerted her of the situation. She was always super nice to me after that.
Guy code. Don't try to get with someone else's partner. Always give at least one space for urinals. Head nod.
We got some new neighbors recently and he just stares in disgust like you insulted him whenever you nod at him. I think we're going to fight soon. Edit. I've tried down nod, up nod, and even verbally said hello a couple times. All he does is stare like an idiot face.
If someone offers to pay, you should ask them if they are sure. If they are, then it is rude to further reject what is supposed to be a kindness on their part. I got the bill. Are you sure? Yeah. Don't worry about it. Thank you.
Or just thanks. Next one's on me. Don't have to reject or feel like you're taking advantage that way.
When a girl says, I won't tell anyone, what she really means is, I won't tell anyone except my best friend. Source. Girl.
If you hear anything about a girl having a thing for your bro, you tell him immediately. I don't care if you're in the jungle with no cell phone service. You walk back to the nearest cell phone tower and let him know so he can get laid.
Light the beacons.
You tell him immediately, otherwise known as the URL redacted watch B equals 2 BECOMRJOA4.
Never steal your bro's large fry.
Or the accidental curly fry.
You don't take a man's accidental curly.
You take a man's wife before you take his accidental curly.
I hate Gary Blauman.
If your friends help you move, you are expected to A. Be packed already, and B. Provide pizza and beer.
LMAO. I hate how many times I've showed up to help friends move and they have nothing packed and not enough boxes. What should take a couple hours turns into an all-day marathon. Like that episode of Parks and Rec when Tom asks for help moving and he hasn't packed yet. Then he doesn't even help move boxes. Just pretends to be busy the whole time.
Treat your friend's girl as if she's a guy. Alright dickyard. How's your mum?
Smack her ass and say good game.
Guy code. Never try to get with a friend's past flame without explicit discussion and permission. Gas your friend up when the crush is present. Driver gets the O cable until responsibility is delegated. Heart to heart to for after 3 a.m. For my friends, shotgun has the O chord. But drive can pick genre and has veto power for any songs. My girlfriend was telling me last night that she always carries an extra pad or tampon because you'll never know when another woman may need one and not have one. She said it's an unwritten rule for women that even if you hate the person you will give them one if they need it. Got me thinking, what other unwritten rules have I not heard of? Edit. Front page Yal.
It's a dad rule. 2. I always carry tampons in my car in case my daughters need one.
This month. You, next month. Me.
Girl code. If something is fixable within 5 minutes, makeup. Something stuck in teeth. Small things on appearance, you tell her and help her if needed. If it isn't fixable on the spot, you keep your mouth shut and especially don't point it out to others. Edit. Thanks for the gold.
I assume this doesn't apply to period stains. Those aren't usually fixable in 5 minutes, but you can't let a person walk around like that either. Edit. Thank you for the gold, Redditor.
Last slice of pizza or last pop beer always goes to who paid for it. If you all chipped in, you don't have to ask, but you have to tell. And never take both in the same hangout. No matter what the earlier rules say. Never mess with the music in another person's car. Don't care how crap you think their taste is. If you know someone else had a regrettable hookup, no you don't. Not even if you fall out and become enemies. You don't remember.
You can have the last beer. You can have the last slice of pizza. You can't have both.
Like the third time I've seen this in the thread. Do people just not buy enough pizza or something? If you don't have leftovers for that sweet cold pizza in the morning, I think it qualifies as now you fucked up.
This also goes for beer. Why would there be a last beer? I don't understand.
No, haven't seen him at the pub.
I went to a pub once that had a sign saying something like tips are the difference between oh yeah he's always in here and who is your husband again? No, never seen him.
Worked at a pub, can confirm. Answered the phone a few times and hadn't seen anyone matching that description.
I only had one chance to exercise this girl code rule. But once I was passing a girl in the lobby of a building and she told me that she had just gotten a straight perm and was waiting for the rain to pass before she went outside, so I let her share my umbrella for 4 to 5 blocks while we walked to a bus stop together. I would do that for any woman if it happened again. Perms are $200 plus. Can take up to 3 hours and are ruined if you get them wet within 48 hours of having the procedure done. Edit, because I keep getting the same questions about perms. 1. Cost. It costs a lot because it's a lot of work for the hairdresser. You are mostly paying for her time, plus the chemicals and tools they use. Professional hairdressers charge a lot for their services if you were asking for anything beyond a basic haircut. 2. Time. It takes a long time because in a straight perm, the one I had 10 years ago anyway, they put the chemicals in my wet hair. And then used a wet to dry straightening tool to perfectly straighten every strand of hair. If they try to do it quickly they could have damaged my hair. Burned me with steam or left some areas unstraightened. 3. Showering. You can shower with a shower cap or with a towel wrapped around your head if you keep your hair out of the water. 4. Do women still get perms? 80s perms were to curl straight hair because that was the most popular style. Most perms today are to straighten curly hair because that's been a more popular style for the past 15 plus years for some people. No style is universal, obviously.
When your best friend dies, you have to delete his internet history. Common courtesy.
More like a fresh install of Windows and formatting the externals. Forget formatting the drives. I've left instructions to 1. Have my hard drives disassembled. 2. The disks magnetically scrubbed. 3. The disks thrown into a grinder. 4. Have the powder scattered at sea with my ashes.
This guy weird pawns. Respect.
If you sell a buddy a car or anything of value cheaper than normal because they are a friend, that friend must offer to sell it back to you before offering it to the general public.
My grandpa gave me a car, and when my brother needed a car I gave it to him. When my sister needed a car he gave it to her. When it needed brakes and exhaust work she took it to the junkyard and kept the money. I'm still bitter. That car had enormous sentimental value. It was a 1990 Oldsmobile 98. It was so fucking cool.
Yep. Sold a friend an old car for $500 and a sushi date. They were always too busy to hang out and give me the money. Then they sold the car to someone else for $500. And then I cut ties.
Up if you know M. Down if you don't. Edit. Ladies, I never said if it was guy code or girl code. It is perfectly acceptable to do this too. We welcome it.
The head not all men know at birth, lol. These urinal rules get more confusing every time I see them.
If a guy needs a tampon, you give it to him. No questions asked.
As a former rugby coach, I've seen so many busted noses fixed with a tampon. Still carry them all the time. I know this won't get anywhere, but I love this.
If you are fighting, no matter what, don't touch the balls. Edit. Of course, if someone is trying to kill you, crush these fuckers into a black hole.
Exceptions are made in a fight for your life situation.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day, you wonderful people.